Well, earlier this month, we told you about vape pens that were disguised as highlighters, designed to be discreet, a smoking tool that could fool just about anyone. But now one Michigan lawmaker is hoping to outlaw those kinds of products. Joining us now to break down the issue is State Rep Alabas Farhat. Now, thank you so much for being here. Could you first describe the legislation that you're going to be introducing?
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Kelly, for having me and for picking up this subject. The legislation is really targeted at combating the rise of these illegal vapes that we're seeing, right? They're designed to look like everyday school objects, like a highlighter, like a pencil, for teachers and school administrators to catch on to. And they're being marketed specifically at kids. And that's where I take a very strong issue at. I'm all for, adults being able to enjoy a product responsibly, but when you're targeting a product at kids specifically, I take strong issue at it. And so the legislation would look at curbing the way the vape itself is marketed and the way it's designed, right, to limit it from being made to look like a school product.
We've seen trying to discourage people from targeting kids with the flavors of vape to discourage them. This seems like a natural next step. Do you think that this is something that could get momentum?
I'll say this. I know there's broad appeal when it comes to ensuring that kids in Michigan are able to uh, go to school and be able to live in a system or a society where they're not being preyed upon by our larger corporations. And I think there is support for that. I think there's bipartisan support for that. The legislation is still being drafted and worked on currently. But as we go through the process, I'm sure, we'll get support from my colleagues.
I was thinking it's back to school time. Teachers have so much on their plates, and now to add something that the school supplies could actually be vape pens, it's just a lot on the plate of teachers in our school systems.
Yeah, and then that's the whole thing, right? We expect a teacher to make sure our kids are reading proficiently, that they are performing proficiently in math, that they have the support they need. The last thing they're going to be checking is what kind of if the highlighter they're bringing to school is a real highlighter or not, right? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to believe that now there's companies profiting off of creating products that are vapes, in some cases that have nicotine in them. So they're not only marketing a product to kids that is designed for them to sneak into school, they're putting nicotine. So they're marketing it for underage consumption, right? These kids are not 21, but they're marketing it with nicotine in some cases for them to smoke. And it's creating this pipeline where kids are just getting hooked at a young age. And it's really something that, I take issue with, right? I think anytime that we see companies or illegal actors taking advantage of our kids, I think that's when the government has to step up and say that's a bridge too far.
And a lot of times kids might not even be knowing that these things are unhealthy. They think, oh, it's bright colors, it's fun flavors, it looks like a
Correct.
marker. They don't know what they're putting into their bodies.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like a toy. It looks, like something that they can, that they're having a good time with, right? And it's popular, and they don't understand the greater implications here of this vape and of the nicotine that's in it. And so that's where I have, again, it's misleading for these kids. They think the highlighter is, or it could be a highlighter, it could be a USB. I've seen pencils and pens. I've seen the funkiest things you could imagine, right? And so they look cool. In some cases, I've seen kids collect them, right? And so we're encouraging them to collect these nicotine-based products or these addictive products. That's a problem, right? Because these products aren't designed to be fun or exciting for kids to use, right? They're products for adults if they choose to use them, or when you're 21 or 18, depending on the state you live in, right? They're not designed for kids who are underage, sitting in high school or middle school trying to learn how to read or write.
All right, thank you, State Rep Alabas, for joining us, and we'll be continuing to follow what happens with your bill.
Thank you.